hello, hello, beloved souls, blessed be, blessed days. So this is a full moon in Capricorn reading for you guys. I missed you guys. It's been such an intense couple of weeks, really. Like, getting rocked energetically. I really don't even know what else to say. Like in the physical world and in the spiritual world, just everything is just kind of like all over the place. It's been really emotional, and intense, which doesn't surprise me because we're still in Cancer season, right? The sun is still in Cancer, and although we just had a new moon in Cancer, which new moons are normally about manifestations, this new moon in Cancer was really supporting us and really releasing things, just like in a really nurturing and loving way. And now we have the full moon in Capricorn having a super full moon in Capricorn, actually the buck moon, and full moons are about release, right? And this moon is Capricorn is governed by Saturn, I want to say. And Capricorn is the death card in the tarot, right? So it's like endings and new beginnings and really letting go of the constructs, the restrictions, the distorted belief systems, the challenges, the lies that we've been telling ourselves, really. Like it's just it's not coming to play. And although we've been supported in doing this step by step and a little by little as the year's been going on, and we really got like a big hug from the universe when the sun went into Cancer, right? It was like it's almost like the universe is like, it's okay to let it go, right? It's okay. Like, I know it's hard to let these things go, especially in parts of ourselves that we're so used to, or parts of our lives that we're used to, right? So many of us are comfortable with our familiar health, right? Instead of like embracing the strange heavens that are around and available to us. And so, that Cancer new moon, it was like it's okay to let this go, right? It's okay if you release that version of yourself. Like there's nothing wrong with you growing, there's nothing wrong with you evolving, there's nothing wrong with you wanting more for yourself, there's nothing wrong with you wanting better, there's nothing wrong with you striving to do more and to be better. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So Cancer came in like really supporting us in this. And this Capricorn energy, you know, as emotional as Cancer is, Capricorn doesn't play, right? It's a sure-footed go. When they make a decision, they've thought it through and they're making the right decision. They know that when they step, it's on solid ground. So I have a lot of Capricorns in my life, especially Capricorn women. They are no joke, right? They show up in the world. They can be very serious, but they're just focused, right? They've thought things through. They're making the short step. They don't like to waste their energy, so they know when they're making a move, it's the right move to make. So during this time, as we're being guided to release all of these things that are no longer serving us, you're being told like, not only is this a good look for you to let this stuff go, and it's okay to let this stuff go, but the things that are coming into fruition for you, the things that you're manifesting, right, are going to have much more stable ground. They're going to be a lot more solid. It's like your energy is not going to be wasted anymore. You're not going to be spinning, feel like you're on a hamster wheel and just spinning in circles and not accomplishing anything, right? So many of us are on this path of healing and growing and evolving, and sometimes you could feel like it's cyclical, right? Like you're just going around and around and around and around. But it's a matter of perspective, right? Maybe you are going around, but as you're going around, you're going up and moving up and spiraling up on your on your life path, right? On this little journey that you're on. So although you may be circling back and revisiting things, you're not circling back and revisiting them from the same vibrational alignment that you were in when it happened, right? You're looking at things from a different perspective. So every time you shift back around, yeah, you may have to shift back around and look at this thing and dive deeper into it and give it another layer, another peeling back of the layers, right? Another diving deep into its energies, but it doesn't mean that you're seeing things from the same perspective. So give yourself that grace and that understanding to know that, like, yeah, things are changing and shifting and moving, but they're changing and shifting and moving because you're changing, shifting, and moving, and you're starting to see things from a higher perspective, from a bigger perspective. So we have this beautiful, deep energy of the Cancer moon, new moon, right? Or the sun in Cancer, really. Um, just supporting us emotionally to go really deep. And then we have the sure-footed goat of Capricorn, right? The mountaintop. So it's like we have the sea and we have the mountains, right? And everything in between. And they're here to honor and support you. But on both sides of this sandwich is release, right? Capricorn is going to come in a little bit more logical, a little bit more demanding, a little bit more assured with their guidance for release, but still that Cancer energy is behind you, guiding you like it's okay. And again, so it's just like this big message of it's okay to let these things go. It's okay to move forward. It's okay to want better and more for yourself. It's okay if the things aren't working out. It's okay for you to walk away, right? It's okay for you to leave those toxic relationships. It's okay for you to leave that toxic job. It's okay for you to end relationships with people that are no longer serving you. And I know that's easier said than done, especially if like it's regarding family, or maybe if like you're in a committed long-term relationship and you have children. It's a lot easier said than done to just get up and walk away. But at some point you have to, you're being guided to do what's best for you at a soul level, right? Imagine like it's like a child being in a household with parents that are fighting all the time, right? And they're fighting, 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 and the mom and dad are like, "Oh, we're together for the kids," and it's like you're not doing your kids you're not being a good service to the children if you're keeping them in an environment that's filled with hostility and drama and pain and suffering, right? The best bet for those kids would be mom go one way and find her true happiness, and dad go his way and find their true happiness, so that they can truly love on and cater to and focus their energies on those children in a healthy environment and from a healthier space, right? Instead of I hate him and he hates her, and then we're fighting all the time, and the kid happens to say something and they get caught in the crossfire, right? It's like you're not. It's not for the greatest good of all, right? So although you might be on like a fake martyrdom with this whole thing, at the end of the day, you're miserable, they're miserable, and the child suffers. So is it actually for the greatest good, right? Is it actually, are you actually being a martyr by sacrificing your child to your freaking dysfunction? No, you're not, right? So that's with everything in life. It's like we make these decisions, quote unquote, for the other person or for the greatest good or because we think it's the right thing to do. And right now we're being guided. It doesn't matter what it looks like societally, right? It doesn't matter how people are judging your actions right now. Like, if it does not feel good, if it's not resonating with you anymore, if it's not leading you to your happily ever after, if it's not in alignment with your soul, it's time to let it go. And not everybody's going to like the decisions that you make, right? And unfortunately, some people may get their feelings hurt, right? When you decide that you want to focus on your own energies and you want to make your life better, not everybody's comfortable with that, right? Because it's a reminder to other people of where they're not stepping up necessarily in their life, or where they've held themselves back, or where they're judging themselves. And when you're shining bright and you're standing in your power and you've expanded your heart, people that have not done that aren't really comfortable with seeing that change in you, right? Because it kind of makes them have to step it up, or it makes them kind of they have to be accountable for their own actions, right? So we have all of that playing out with this energies, right? And I know as far as ascension symptoms, there's been a lot of clearing of the throat chakra. Again, we have even Mercury's doing some craziness up in the sky right now. There's a lot of planets like Pluto and Saturn and Mercury, all this stuff, conjunct, T squares. It's so intense. Like, I'm not an astrologer. I just love to just listen to it, but I'm not an astrologer by nature. But Mercury is really close to Saturn at this time. I want to say Saturn at this time. So it's not surprising to me that we're having a lot of throat chakra activations, a lot of throat chakra clearings. You're being guided to speak your truth. You're being guided to stop mincing words and stop playing small. And some of you are being guided to be quiet, right? Sometimes we're doing all of this when less is more. Two ears, one mouth, right? So depending on where you're at vibrationally on the scale, you're going to either be guided to speak up and to clear that throat chakra and to really start standing in your truth and standing in your light and letting people know what that means, or you're being guided to dial it back a little and to be in a little bit more observation mode and start doing the stuff that you need to do behind the scenes, so that when you are ready to step out in Leo season, all your ducks are in a row. Okay, so a lot intense, crazy throat chakra activations going on. Huge activations going on within like the third eye and the crown chakra for many people as well. Solar plexus still getting cleared out, right? Our power center, knowing when we could trust our gut instincts, tapping into like our own divine masculine power to push things forward, right? We took that delicious feminine energy from the sun in Cancer, really cleared out our sacral chakra. There was a lot of sacral chakra activations going on during that time. And now we're in the solar plexus, right? Capricorn is very masculine energy, very strong energy. So again, this is about our gut instincts, our own inner power, regaining that, remembering who we are as sovereign beings, remembering your own inner power, remembering that you do have a choice in this world, right? It may seem like you don't. A lot of people are fighting for their sovereignty right now. And just a reminder from the divine, that you are sovereign, and that although that may be what everyone else is doing, that doesn't mean that that's the path for you. And that's a lot of what's happening right now. It's like a lot of what we were used to is not necessarily working for us anymore, right? So it's like, let me step back, let me readjust, let me shift my energies and do something different. And that can be scary, right? Change can be scary. It's not always easy to just up and make a change and just to feel comfortable with it. I know that for a fact, right? So just stepping into that and knowing that you're not alone, just like feeling into it and allowing yourself the grace to just do this step by step. Again, like the short footed goat with the Capricorn, right? You're taking a step, and you're taking your time with the step because you want to make sure that when you plant your foot, you're on solid ground. You don't see goats climbing up the mountain and just putting their foot everywhere and just scrambling, and like they fall down the mountaintops, right? You see them on the edge of the mountain and they're good. They're on little cliffs, and you're like, how the hell are they doing that? But they know when they make that step that they're good, and they're trusting in the decisions that they're making. And so that's what you're being guided to do, right? Like, you tapped into your emotions, you got to feel some stuff. Now trust the decisions that you're making. Trust, got that intuitive guidance, trust the moves that you're being guided to make, right? And trust the things that you're being guided to let go of. I cannot stress that enough. Like, there are just certain people, certain things that are in your life that are just not serving you anymore, and it's time to truly let it go. But I know that may be challenging for many of you. I know that that may be challenging. I know what it's like. Like I said, I've been there. I just moved to another freaking state. I'm in a different time zone. It's bugging me out right now, right? And I just had some really hard lessons from the place that I was at, right? I ended a really toxic relationship with a karmic partner. Had to readjust and move and like completely shift with my family. But I also knew that in the midst of all of these things that going on, that I was being led to a place that was going to put us on more solid ground, led to a place where I knew if I put my foot, the ground wouldn't fall beneath my feet, right? So I had to trust that, and I had to trust the people that the universe was sending into my life to support me, and I had to learn to not only ask for help, but I had to learn how to accept help and how to receive. And receiving was a challenge for me, and I know it is for a lot of divine feminines out here, right? I spent most of my life in divine masculine energy because I had to learn how to survive. I had to be tough. I had to be strong. And so it was really hard for me to tap into my feminine energy and to be comfortable with the feminine energy because feminine, for the most part, was seen as very like weak because I grew up around a lot of abuse and manipulation and like just all that stuff. Seeing women just being hurt, being used, being beat on, and so we replay these things. And I had to be like, I don't want that for my life, and I definitely don't want that for my children. I don't want my son growing up thinking that he needs to be beating on women, lying to women, manipulating women, abusing women, and I don't want my daughter thinking that that's a form of fucking love. Eh, dead, 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 right? So, big harsh lessons to have to heal that from a generational standpoint, have to heal it from a lineage standpoint, having to heal it from a gender standpoint, having to heal it from a race standpoint. You know what I'm saying? As a black woman in these streets, it can be a little challenging, right? All this beautiful energy coming in to help us grow, to help us evolve, to help us shift, to help us move, to help us get to our highest and greatest timeline and serve the highest and greatest good of all. And Capricorn is here to just come in and be like, listen, you were in your feelings with Cancer season. It's all right. Now it's time to make moves. All right. It's time to let it go so that you can move forward. Like, let it go so you can move forward. How long are you going to hold on to this thing that's keeping you trapped, that's keeping you bound to the past, to your dysfunction, to your shortcomings, to your poverty, to your illness? Like, how long are you going to hold on to it? At some point, you can learn to let it go. If you can hold on to pain for that long, you can hold on You can let it go and find your freedom. You can let it go and find your healing. You can let it go and find your release. You deserve it. And that's what this energy is here to tell you. It's like, no, you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be on solid ground. You deserve to have beautiful abundance in your life. The Capricorns that I know are all about abundance and stability and making things right, right? They have solid, stable relationships. They work in jobs where it's like regular checks, so they have like good money coming in. They show up in the world, dressed well and doing their thing. I know a lot of Capricorn women. I don't know about the Capricorn men, but I'll say that for the Capricorn women in my life, right? They are bad bitches. All of them. I love them, love them, love them. They're going to give you advice, and it's going to be logical. And it may not be pretty and it may not feel good, but it's going to be the truth and it's what you need to hear. And they're showing up for you. They are going to be the people that are going to give you the tough love, but at the end of the day, it's love, right? It's like, did the wrong thing, blah, 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 popped you in your hand, yeah, it hurts, but guess what? I'm sitting down, I popped you in your hand because if it didn't pop you in the hand, you're about to grab that freaking pot on the stove, you would have burnt your hand, we'd be in the hospital right now. So yeah, this little thing hurt temporarily, but I just saved you from a much bigger thing. It's like that kind of environment. It's like, they love you. They love you. You may not get it as soft and as nurturing as cancer does, because cancer's going to sit there and, it's all right, baby, I know you burnt your hand, let me run out some water, let me get you some a cool man. Let me wrap your hand. All right, boo, boo. No, Capricorn's gonna be like, I told you not to touch the stove. Look, you done burnt your hand. All right, let's wrap it up. You're all right. You good? You need anything? Go sit down. Now go sit down. All right. I told you not to touch the stove. Two very different energies, but all coming from a space of love. All coming from a space of love. Yeah. All right. So thank you, angels and guys. We're gonna tap in. I'm gonna start with the Work Your Light Oracle. Sorry, I wanted to see where we want to start with this. Work Your Light Oracle. We do like 4 decks because it's full moon and Capricorn. And let's see. So thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. What the collective needs to know about this full moon and Capricorn. Okay. I feel like that's good. Bottom of the deck, transformation. What did I just say? Things are changing at a cellular level. Cellular level. Deep healing. This is so powerful. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys, for this message. Like, that is it. Like, we're releasing stuff that is not serving you. If it's not, I'm telling you, if it's not serving you, it's got to go. And if you're trying to act like, if you want to try to pretend oblivion, pretend like you don't know what it is, it's going to blow up in your face, right? So, not every lesson needs to be a hard one, right? Not every lesson needs to be like some kind of a catastrophic event that just blows us takes us for a loop. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. Change doesn't have to be this hard. But if you're not stepping forward into the shifts and changes that are going on around you, then the rug's going to be pulled up from underneath your feet. So deep transformations or changes are happening. It says things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Things are changing at a cellular level. Like I said, many of us, not just me, are ending generational curses, lineages, right? Some of the stuff that we have going on in this lifetime isn't necessarily all of our karma that we picked up, but it's some of the stuff that we need to heal from our ancestors and throughout our lineage. So when a trauma happens, to a mother, right? The eggs are already within her. So that trauma is automatically going within her eggs, right? And so the child is then born with that trauma within them. Not that they experienced it, not that they were here for it, not that they consciously made that choice, but now that's a part of their DNA structure because it was in the mom, right? And it goes right through. And so now imagine all of the traumas that you've had over the generations from your ancestors, right? And I know me, like as a Black woman, I have the slavery thing going on, we have the poverty thing going on, we have the abandonment thing going on as a woman in a country, the free country, like, oh, United States, home of the free. I don't know how as women, we don't even make the same amount of money as men, right? So there's all of that playing out in the background within ourselves, within our DNA, that has to be transmuted to something better. That's deep work. That's deep cellular work that's going on. So many of you, I know I haven't been getting no sleep. You're like exhausted. sleep patterns are off, you're having weird dreams, your body's doing crazy stuff. Sometimes you might feel like you're losing your mind because you're just like, what the hell is going on right now? Like, why can't I stop crying? Why does everything have to be so challenging? Why is this all imploding? Why is nothing I'm doing working, right? And that's like your soul and the universe telling you, like, it's time to do something different. It's time to shake things up. It's time to make a shift. And again, change is not always comfortable, but it's needed. It's deeply, deeply, deeply needed at this time. Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? How are you being called to step up and take the lead in the role in your life? Where, where in your life are you being shown that you need to be accountable, you need to be aware, and you need to take your power back? Again, this Capricorn energy is big solar plex energy, and that's about our inner power, our inner strength. This is our inner sun. So where are you being called to take your power back? Can you? Have you? Are you choosing to? Deep, 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 deep introspection. For many of you, you're being led to have a leadership role, right? To speak out, to be the voice of reason, to maybe be the voice of change. And some of you are denying those gifts, right? You're hiding from it, you're scared from it, it's overwhelming to you. But these are gifts and talents that you've had from other lifetimes that are coming forth to support you in this lifetime. So as opposed to resisting this, it's time to embrace it. It's time to really embrace it. Embrace all that you are. Embrace the gifts that you have. Embrace the beauty that you are. Embrace the changes. Embrace your fears, right? Are you scared to be in the limelight? Are you scared to speak up? Are you scared to speak your truth? Because that's a real thing, and I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I I can be I can be a little harsh at times. I want to say I don't consider it harsh, but people can take it as harsh because I'm very honest. I'm very authentic. Like I'm not here to like coddle you, and I'm like, oh, I'm not doing none of that. Like I don't have no babies. I have children. I don't have no babies, and I don't even baby my children. You know what I mean? Like they're young. I'm not here to coddle you. You asking a friend for advice and you call me, you're gonna get the truth. I love you. I will give it to you in love and kindness always, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and try to make something. I'm not gonna sit here and try to make it look good when it's not. If every time I talk to you, you're telling me, hey, I'm being led to do this, 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 and you're not doing it, I'm be like, so if you keep being led, then why the hell aren't you going? The fuck are you waiting for? A written invitation, you need a note in the sky. Like that's not how the universe works. Like if you're getting intuitive hits, follow them. And that's what Cancer brought in. A lot of instances, we have to clear out that sacral chakra so that we can get our intuitive hits. And now you got the intuitive hits, it's time to make moves, right? Take the feminine energy of creativity with the masculine energy of moving things forward and do something about it. And this is the perfect season. This is the perfect balance, right? Cancer with all that delicious feminine and Capricorn with all that delicious masculine. Let it help you. Let it help you move forward. This is a Capricorn super moon. Energies are super intense. This logic and release that's coming in for you is a gift for you if you're open to it with this, receive it. Akash, your guidance is divinely guided. I just love my team of light. I just love it. What is this doing? It's showing you you're being led in really strong ways. And for many of you, these changes are really hard. They're scary because you're getting psychic awarenesses, and for some of you, it's freaking you out. Like your spiritual gifts that are coming online, and for many of you, you're resistant to it because of how it looks externally. There's this energy of there's this energy of almost like being held back from your spiritual gifts because of the restrictions in the physical world. It's like you're blocking your gift because of 3D judgments, expectations, viewpoints. It's Capricorn full moon. The super full moon in Capricorn is here to help you let go of the things that are keeping you stuck. Let go of the things that are holding you back. Let go of the lies and distortions. Like I just keep saying, it's like I just keep hearing like it's a lie. It's a lie. Like whatever story you've been telling yourself, whatever story you're being told, it's like it's a lie. Like, and I don't even want to say like a lie, like in a malicious sense. Like it's like a tale that was. All right, okay. There's so much coming in at once. I'm overwhelmed trying to get it to you. So let's say, remember being a kid and you play like the telephone game, right? One person starts in a circle and they tell somebody a secret and then you pass it around and you see if it's the same message by the time it gets back to you. That's what this is, right? It was like a message that started off, it could have started off right with the purest intentions, but now that it's come full circle, it's gotten all distorted. And so they're saying like, don't beat yourself up about the distortions. Just know that like you didn't have all the right information, you didn't have all the right tools, you didn't receive the right message. So for many of you, that's what this is like. This release is that we didn't receive the right message, we didn't receive the right teachings. It was misinterpreted, it was misunderstood, it got convoluted in the translation. Okay, so you're unlearning those distorted beliefs. So you're having to reteach yourself the right way. It's like you finally got the book that everybody's been talking about and you decided to read it for yourself. And although this person had this to say about it and this person had that to say about it, and maybe you heard one or two quotes that was right, it was nothing anyone said or did resonated as much as when you got the book in your own hands and you decided to read it for yourself. When you decided to read those messages for yourself and they sat with you, it was completely different. It's like seeing a movie with someone, right? Two people could see the same movie and both love the movie, but both love it for two different reasons. And then see the movie again and catch something different from it, right? It doesn't mean that the information was necessarily wrong. It just wasn't complete and it wasn't necessarily from the perspective that you have at this time, okay? Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realm. You're being helped all around, left and right. Your ancestors are coming in, your spirit guides are coming in. It's beautiful. This healing, this transformations that are occurring at a really deep cellular level are being supported on the other side of the realm. You have everything you need. Look at it, look at it. I have like the ascended masters here, right? I love it. Again, it's like these beautiful spiritual teachings. I know I was raised Baptist Methodist, right? So go to church and hear the pastor speaking about the word or whatever, and I had such an issue with it because every time I left church, I didn't feel better, right? I felt kind of like scared and stuck and kind of disempowered. Like, not that I didn't feel like God's love or Jesus' love, but it just wasn't. It wasn't empowering. It wasn't a reminder of my sovereignty. It felt like I had to go to this person to understand what God wanted from me, and if I wasn't doing it the right way, then I would be put. Like there was just so many strings attached to the messages that it didn't resonate with me, right? Like, and then so much stuff was going on in my family at the time. Like I had it out. Like me and God did not talk for years. I mean, he was dead to me. I was all the way mad at the Most High because I'm like, oh, if you hate us, then fuck you. I hate you. Because I thought he hated my family because everyone was dying. Obviously, in hindsight, that wasn't the case, but that's how I took it as a child because I was just like so confused and so like overwhelmed by everything that was going on, right? So when I started reading the teachings for myself, when I started building that relationship for myself, when I got the spiritual text for myself, I started diving down deep. When I built my own relationship, with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene and the Holy Family, and started getting messages directly from them instead of a intermediary, the world changed for me. The world changed for me because it was this beautiful, pure, divine message that didn't have the judgment, that didn't have the restrictions, that didn't have the fears attached to it, that came through a lot of the human people that were trying to give me these spiritual teachings. You know, people do the best from where they're at, right? So if a person is living their life in scarcity and fear and teaching people based off scarcity and fear, then their message is going to be a little bit different than what the Most High has for us, right? Because the Most High is not scarce or fear. It's pure love and abundance, right? So you have to kind of get that for yourself. So you have this council of light coming in right now, like, hey, we're supporting you. Call out to us, right? Call on Yeshua, call on Mary Magdalene, call on Buddha, call on Mother Teresa, whomever you might resonate with as a huge spiritual teacher on the other side of the realm, or even on this side of the realm. Like, call upon them to support you because they're here to support you. Once the souls go to the other side of the veil, it doesn't matter if they've been there for 5 seconds or 5 billion years. They're all here to support you, and everyone wants to. They're cheering us on at every given moment to be supportive in what we're doing, growing and evolving and taking ourselves to the next level. There's nothing in the heavens that wants you to fail. There's nothing in the heavens that wants you to be blessed. There's nothing in the heavens that wants you to be broke, sick, poor, in pain. None of that. None of that. That is never God's will for you. And if someone is giving you that message, then they are completely confused. Completely confused. Completely confused. Completely confused. Completely confused. Gateway Oracle first, guys. Sorry. All right, my beautiful team of light. What do we have for the collective? What does everybody need to know about this full moon Capricorn? Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. What does the collective need to know about this full moon in Capricorn? Right. Breaking barriers. I'm expanding beyond limitations into joy and freedom. I'm expanding beyond limitations. Yeah, because we've been held back for so long. You got to break those chains. It's time to let it go, step out, step clear. It's time to let it go, step out, step clear. To free yourself. Embracing the future. I step into the future with an open heart. Open your heart, step forward for the blessings that are before you. This is coming in to support you. If you're open to it. Like I said, I just went through a really challenging time and I had to really learn how to receive. And now it's hard for me. It's easy for me to give. Easy for me to give. Kind of my love language. I love to like see people smile, anything, little note, trinket, gifts, whatever. But receiving, always really uncomfortable, right? Taught that like if you receive, if you want things and you're wrong, like it just the distorted belief that like it was wrong for me to be to be open to receive. It was wrong of me to like want to ask. It was wrong of me to want more. I had to unlearn all that stuff, right? And to learn like I am worthy, I am deserving, I am enough. It's okay to like ask for help. I have a ton of beautiful friends and amazing family. Like people want to support you, but you don't necessarily give them the opportunity. One of my girlfriends, I remember teaching me like, don't block someone else's blessing, right? Like there's a flow in the universe of give and take, and things need to flow. So if you're giving all the time, and then people are trying to give to you, and you're blocking it, you're stopping the process, right? Because it has to be a give and a take, and a give and a receive. So you're stopping the process, and you're blocking someone else from being a blessing to you, right? Because people are blessed to be a blessing. So just like you can easily give and be a blessing to someone else can easily give and be a blessing to you. And so that's a part of these lessons coming in right now, right? Really be open to it, really embracing it, embracing the changes that are happening before us, embracing the signs and synchronicities that we're giving, embracing the shifts that are going on in your life, right? It's beautiful. Accepting what is. I accept and embrace my inner majesty. It is what it is. Give yourself the grace for where you're at right now. It took us a long time to get to where we're at, right? Like decades of believing the things that we were told. And there's no fault in that. It's okay to accept where you're at. Like just give yourself the grace in the moment to be okay with where you're at and to know that at any point you can make a change and make things better. Right now, this is where you're at, and it's okay. You're being supported to make those changes. You're being supported to take stock of your life and be like, you know what? I'm really okay with my career, but I don't really like my love relationships. Or my love relationships suck, but I'm doing great in my career, right? Or my health could be better. Whatever it is, just take a step back. Just look at the different areas of your life. Scale of 1 through 10. How do you feel about your weight? 10 being I love my body, and 1 being like I'm fucking disgusted with myself, right? 1 to 10, how do you feel about your career or your business? 1 to 10, how do you feel about your intimate relationships? 1 through 10, how do you feel about your platonic relationships? 1 through 10, how do you feel about your familial relationships? Right? Take a look at your life. And I'm not saying take a look at your life and 1 to 10 and then sit there and judge me and be like, oh, I have all these wands and my life sucks. No. No, 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 no. I'm saying take a look at your life and be like, all right, this is a 1 and this is a 10. Awesome that this is working for me. Cool. A shift needs to be made here, right? Maybe I don't feel comfortable here, or maybe I just need to put more energy into this over here because it makes me feel good. And as this stuff comes up, I can deal with it, right? Because I'm in a better vibrational stance. We're not ignoring these things. We're just focusing on what's better to have them meet us there. And things happen. Either we start to shift our perspective on these other things in our life, or they fall by the wayside and they fall away because they're not serving you anymore because of where you're at vibrationally. So just give yourself some grace. And it's okay to be where you're at. It took a long time for you to get here, right? So many of us experience traumas between 0 and 7. And then we spend decades living our life with with this traumatic belief system in our minds. And then we're hard on ourselves when we realize, oh shit, I've been living like this for 30 years. All right, I just want to fix it. No, this ain't a light switch. You gotta give yourself some time. Like it took you a minute to get to this point, so it's gonna take you a minute to get away from this point. But awareness is the first step, and that helps you step forward into it. Just being aware, right? Being aware, like oh, I need to let that go. And again, it's not always easy, but you're being so supported during this time to do that. You're being so supported, and just knowing that it's okay. It's okay to do it. Listening with your heart. I trust the messages I receive from my heart. Filtering everything through your heart center helps you to just make easier decisions, right? Like, you know that if you're filtering things through your heart, you're filtering things through the eyes of God, right? God is pure love. There's no fear in the divine. Fear is a man-made construct. So, stepping through your heart, listening, right? Listening to your counsel of light, knowing that you're being divinely guided, trusting these promptings that you're getting. That's all coming through this heart chakra. Another big activation going on for the collective right now. Sharing of yourself. I'm an incredibly generous being. Give and take, right? That is the flow of the universe. So just as easily as you can give, keep doing that and be open to receiving as well. Being generous with yourself isn't just being generous with all of your resources. It's also being generous with your spirit, with your love, and being accepting. Being accepting. The universe is benevolent and loving. Are you willing to accept its gifts to you? Are you willing to step into that? And again, with this throat chakra activation, many of you are being called to start talking your shit. Start giving your gas. Speaking your light. Speaking your light. All right, here we go. Thank you, angels. Thank you. Okay, guys, what does the collective need to know about this full moon in Capricorn? What do we need to know about the full moon in Capricorn? Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. Security. Sure-footed goat, right? The goat does not step any place that it's not sure. You're not gonna see a goat just like playing on the side of a mountain and just like scrambling, trying to figure out where to put their hoof. No, they step on sure ground, stable ground. This is the security, the foundation that's coming in for all of you guys. Telling you that it's okay to make these moves. It's okay to take those steps. It's okay to let this stuff go. It's gonna leave you on solid ground. It's gonna leave you on solid ground. Diligence, adventures, voyage, new beginnings, and trust. Talking about that. due diligence, right? Working really hard. But this is also a message of seeing things from what? A higher perspective, right? Getting above the fray, getting above the nonsense, getting above the drama, and seeing things from a much higher perspective. You've been doing the work, right? And then doing the work, that's what you're seeing. That's what you're getting yourself prepared for. That's what's being supported at this time. To just see things from a higher perspective and to know that it's okay. And again, this bird is up top, right? Just like a goat is up top in a mountain, right? So it's really taking us and elevating us to another level. Trust in the universe, trust in the guidance that you're getting, trust in the messages that you're getting, stepping forward with your power, using your inner power, trusting the divine promptings and guidance and signs and synchronicities that you're getting. That's your council of light talking to you. There's a reason that all this stuff keeps coming up. There's a reason you keep seeing those same numbers, those same animals, the same insects, those same colors. You keep hearing the same messages, right? Like you're like, oh my God, I keep hearing the word, the name Mike everywhere I look. Mike, 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 Mike. Like, who the hell's Mike? You know, you never know. It might be a soulmate coming in for you. There's things going on for you in the universe. Your guides are speaking to you. There's never a point where the Most High is not speaking to you. It's just a matter of whether or not you're listening. It's not like heaven shuts their phone lines off. That's not how it works. So at any point you want to tap into to that realm, the angelic realm, the ancestral realm, just talk to the Most High. At any point it's available to you. It's a matter of whether or not you're listening to the messages that you're getting. Voyage. Some of you are going to be going on a trip, but I really feel like this is more like a change, just a transformation within yourself, a change within yourself, a change within your own belief patterns, right? Like almost like a journey of the soul. So for some of you, you might be going like doing like a little soul retrieval. Some of you are going to be having children or finding out that you're having children. You'll see huge full moon in the background, right? And for a lot of us, this is just the inner child healing that needs to go on. And I feel like that's the most people. It's just big inner child healing that's coming on and finally releasing the things that we learned as children, the traumas and the pains that have guided us this far that are no longer serving us. So many of us are moving out of survival mode and into thriving mode. And that's what's really being supported at this time. Adventures and new beginnings, right? Things are changing. Things are changing. Expect adventures. Look at that beautiful water in the background, like that beautiful waterfall, cleansing, purifying, beautiful Cancer energy, really guiding us to tap into our emotions, leading to new beginnings. And that's what all of this is about, right? As we release all the things that are no longer serving us, we have space in our container for new things, right? We're dumping the cup. What did my girlfriend just say? Dump the cup. It's like it's a quote from like Alice in Wonderland, but basically it's like you're dumping the cup of the stuff that's no longer serving you. You're moving to the next cup, a fresh, clean cup. So that's what's happening right now. It's like we're dumping and releasing all the crap within our energetic field, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual fields that are just no longer serving us. And from this empty and open space, we can call in the things that we want, the new beginnings, the manifestations, the security, the love, the abundance, the prosperity, the divine health. Like all of that stuff is becoming available to you. And it's going to lead you again on solid ground. This Capricorn energy is all about stability and solid ground. Capricorns, again, the sure footed goat, stable, stable, stable earth energy, and the most mature of all the earth signs, right? Because they're the last one. All right, we're going to do the angels of Atlantis. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guys. These beautiful messages coming in. Full moon and Capricorn. What else does the collective need to know? Again, transformation, transmutation. Healing, 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 transforming. We are taking the distorted beliefs and stuff that we had before. We're taking the fears, we're taking the lies, we're taking the bitterness, the anger, and we're using this beautiful violet energy. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for being here, but Archangel Zachiel is also here. Using this beautiful violet energy of transmutation to change it. Change it to something that is serving you. Change it for the greatest good, for the highest good of all. Many of you are going to be connecting with ancient Egypt. We have Thoth coming in right now, have Isis coming in, but there's lessons there, there's energies there that are, I just heard the Emerald Tablets, so for, I don't know if some of you are doing some research with that or if it's just here to support you. A lot of that's coming in. There's a lot going, all right, there's a lot going on with the ancient Egyptian teachings coming in for the collective at this time as well. So taking you to different levels of higher learning, third eye activations, crown activations coming on. Some of you have been connecting with your galactic star family, maybe Syrians, Palladians, Arcturians. You're getting messages, you're feeling, you're realizing you're multidimensional. Jesus, I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Sorry. Archangel Michael again. I am present. Wow, 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 wow. Beautiful. I am, two of the most powerful words in the universe, is what we say afterwards becomes a reality. So what are you speaking over yourself, especially as you're manifesting these new beginnings, right? I am prosperous or I am poor. I am abundant or I am struggling. What are you speaking? I am glorious. I am enough. I am deserving. I am open to receive, right? Coming in with some compassion. This compassion, first of all, this root chakra, right? Really getting the red for the root chakra, really getting us grounded and stable. But this compassion is having compassion for yourself as well as others, right? Like holding space for yourself and knowing that it's okay to be where you're at right now. And it doesn't mean that you're stuck there. It doesn't mean that you're stuck there. It's okay. Like wherever you're at right now, and that's big with this accepting what is message, right? Having compassion for ourselves, just giving ourselves a break. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, right? And maybe yesterday sucked, but that doesn't mean today has to, and tomorrow won't if you choose it not to be. But giving yourself the grace and the space to know that you're doing the best you can with the knowledge, or you did the best you can with the knowledge that you have. And now that you're aware of some other things, some newer truths, you're going to do the best you can from that space too. Just giving yourself that moment. But also knowing in all of this compassion that you're having for yourself that everybody else in the collective is going through this too, right? Like it may not look the same, it may not look like everyone else is going through, but we're all going through our shit, right? Um, I sometimes it's hard for me to like just sit with my emotions just because people need my energies in a lot of different places, right? So I have to like step away and to withdraw. And I did that the other day. I just had like a whole breakdown because I've like the dust finally settled, all the shit that I've been going through for the past few months. It was like whirlwind, right? Finally coming out. And I was talking to one of my girlfriends, and I was just like, I'm just tired. Like my soul is tired. It's not sleeping. I'm just like so weary from all the work that I've been doing, all the stuff that I've been doing for the collective, all the stuff I've been doing for the tribe and my clients, all the stuff I've been doing for myself and my family, and then just being exhausted, like just energetically overwhelmed and exhausted. And she's like, I couldn't even tell because you carry it so well, and I'm like, yeah, because on the outside world, like people don't need to be in the middle of my shit, but inside, like I need to have that moment with myself and talk to my team of light and be like, help me get through this. I don't want to pull any cards. I just want to cry right now. So it's that type of thing. Just giving yourself compassion, but also having compassion for the rest of the collective as we're all shifting through it and not personalizing the stuff that people are projecting onto you because, again, everybody's going through some stuff right now. We're all getting rocked. It's not like the full moon in Capricorn is only for me and you. Full moon in Capricorn is happening all across the globe, and everybody's going to feel these energies. Depending on where they're at vibrationally, will depend on where they're at on how they receive these messages. And Archangel Haniel coming in with some hope, more root chakra with this beautiful red energy. So again, with that message of security coming in, right? We're gonna be pushed. We're being moved to more stable ground. We're being moved to just more of a solid foundation for yourself. So just keep your eyes open, keep your heart open, keep your ears open, and don't forget to just live your life with hope. Just don't give up, right? I know it might get hard. I know it might get challenging. These energies can be really intense and as exhausting as they can be, and there's all the shifts that are going on, it can feel like the fuck. Like I don't even want to do this anymore. I'd rather just be an ostrich and put my head in the sand and act like nothing is going on. But you're just being guided right now. Like don't give up. Don't lose hope. Don't put your head in the sand, right? Keep your head held high. Get really grounded. It's really important. We keep seeing all this beautiful red coming in, so it's important to stay really grounded right now. The deeper our roots go, the higher we can go, right? The deeper your roots go, the higher we can go. And you want that connection because, again, you have all these messages coming in from you from your Council of Light. The Most High is guiding you every single moment of every single day. And you're being guided to really change and transform on a deep cellular level, to really, really grow and develop and move things. The deepest, deepest level of your being, deepest level of your being. So just really trust in it and allow this Capricorn super full moon to support you in releasing the things that are no longer serving you so that you can embrace this wonderful new beginning that's available for you. So that you can move forward, so you can have these changes, so you can do the healing, so that you can have a life that's filled with beautiful adventures. All right? I'm going to leave it there because I know this went a little longer than it was supposed to, but I love you guys and I miss you guys and I want to make sure that you got this message. So I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. And I will see you guys soon. Later.